Natalie is driving along the cliffs of San Fernando Valley, which is 16 miles north of Los Angeles, at the start of the film. A rock suddenly falls and forces her off the road, causing her car to fall and hang over the edge of a cliff. She calls for help. Soon after, Chief Raymond Ray Gaines of the Los Angeles Fire Department and his co-workers Joby and Marcus arrive to rescue the girl trapped in the car. Ray tilted the helicopter into a narrow crack despite the fact that the edge was very narrow. Joby descends to save the girl, but he stalks when attempting to stabilize the car. Ray goes down and saves the girl and Joby just as the car is about to overturn. Dr. Kim Park receives information about minor earthquakes in Falco, Nevada, and shows it to his Caltech seismologist colleague Lawrence Hayes. The minor earthquakes have magnitudes ranging from 2.0 to 2.6 and will last for 24 hours. Hayes is curious as to how these minor earthquakes can occur in Nevada, where there are no faults. Because they can be used to predict the size of an earthquake, Hayes and Park decide to go to Nevada to find out. Ray receives divorce papers while planning a trip to San Francisco with his daughter Blake. He recently divorced his ex-wife Emma, who has moved on with her new boyfriend Daniel Riddick. Looking at pictures of them together makes him emotionally sad. Simultaneously, Park and Hayes are testing a magnetic pulse from an earthquake at the Hoover Dam to see if it matches what they predicted before the earthquake. The device detects a spike pulse, which is then followed by a stronger earthquake. It's 7.0, the highest number ever recorded there. As the dam begins to fail, Park struggles to escape, while Hayes orders those still on the dam to leave. Park exits the dam building, but he comes to a halt when he sees a girl who is afraid to move due to the breaking dam. He carries her away after picking her up. The girl is saved, but Park's right foot is pierced by a rod. The dam completely failed and collapsed, killing Park. The towns flood as a result of the disaster. The quake was the strongest and most damaging ever recorded in Nevada. Ray returns to California to plan their trip with his family. He meets his ex-wife and her new boyfriend, Daniel, there. Ray becomes envious and looks at them as if to say, "Cheers for having someone worthless as this guy." Ray was unable to join in this trip because he needed to return to work to assist people in Nevada who had been injured in a disaster. So Daniel offers to accompany Blake on the journey. This enrages Ray even more because he does not trust Daniel, but he still loves his daughter more. Ray drives to the Los Angeles Fire Department's headquarters and boards a helicopter bound for Nevada. Daniel and Blake board a plane bound for San Francisco. When they arrive, they are given a ride to Daniel's skyscraper. While Daniel is at a meeting, Blake meets Ben Taylor, a very awkward English guy who came to San Francisco with his brother Ali for a job interview. What a weirdo. Serena arrives at Caltech. She wishes to speak with Hayes about what occurred in Nevada. Hayes claims that they were unaware of the presence of a fault line. He claims that they should be able to predict when an earthquake will occur. Hayes is speaking when one of his co-workers interrupts him and informs him about the pulse rates found throughout the San Andreas fault. There are more pulse in California than in Nevada. Hayes then explains why the earthquake occurred in Nevada despite the fact that there was no fault line. His hypothesis is to draw a fault line near Nevada and connect it to the fault boundary's end. Hayes believes the entire San Andreas fault may erupt. In a high-rise restaurant in Los Angeles, Emma is having lunch with Daniel's sister, Susan. After a brief conversation with Susan, Emma answers a phone call from Ray, who is in the helicopter on its way to maintenance. Ray apologizes to Emma for being jealous the other day. A strong earthquake interrupts their phone conversation. Emma informs Ray of an earthquake, and Ray notices that the freeway is collapsing. Ray directs Emma to the roof to await assistance. According to Caltech, the first major earthquake had a magnitude of 8.5 and then 9.1. Not just in Los Angeles, but throughout California, and the quake is on its way to San Francisco, where Blake, Daniel, and their friends are staying. People inside the building panic as the damaging earthquake strikes, and some are injured. Emma instructs Susan to go to the roof, but Susan instead goes to the exit and dies when the floor collapses. Emma makes it to the roof just as the floor and other structures around her begin to collapse. Emma recovers and emerges from the rubble. Finally, Ray saves Emma, and they barely escape as the buildings around them collapse. The entire city has now been destroyed. Meanwhile, following Ben's interview in San Francisco, Blake takes Ollie's book and writes her phone number in it, so Ben can call her. Blake and Daniel are leaving the building's parking lot when the earthquake strikes. They try to escape, but when the slab above collapses, they are trapped. The debris crushes a section of the car, and Blake's leg becomes trapped beneath the driver's seat. Daniel goes to seek assistance. When a piece of the building falls near Daniel as he calls for help, a security guard is killed. Daniel flees in terror rather than saving Blake. Ben and Ollie are attempting to save Blake, but the debris above her continues to push on the roof, making it difficult for them to do so. Blake is able to move the driver's seat by using the jack to move the broken pieces, but her leg remains stuck. Finally, Ben pops the tires, causing the car to drop and allowing them to get her out of there. As the aftershocks continue, the trio flee the building. They decide to go to the electronics store in order to contact Ray. Blake locates a phone in the store and calls her parents to inform them that she is safe. She also informs them that Daniel has left her. Emma is enraged, so she leaves a scathing voicemail for Daniel. Ray tells Blake that they must leave immediately and meet at the Coit Tower. Ray and Emma rush to San Francisco to save their daughter. Daniel is walking through the crowd on the street while this is going on. Suddenly, another powerful earthquake strikes. The structure above the crowd collapses. To save himself, Daniel takes someone else's safe spot, and the other person is swept away by the debris. This guy is a self-centered jerk. Ray and Emma are on their way to the city when their helicopter's engine fails. They must crash landing a Bakersfield superstar. The thief points a gun at Ray as they attempt to steal an already stolen car. Ray manages to take the thief's gun, and they drive away. Hayes, with the assistance of Serena, is able to inform the public that San Francisco is about to be hit by a much larger earthquake. He tells San Franciscans that their lives depend on them leaving now. Ray and Emma drive until they come across an old couple who tells them to stop because the road is blocked by the now open San Andreas fault. They return to the old couple's house. Ray trades the car that was stolen for the couple's airplane. Ray and Emma successfully fly to San Francisco. While they are on the plane, Ray tells Emma about their daughter Mallory, who died in a rafting accident. Ray is disappointed that he was unable to save his daughter. This is the real reason Emma wants to divorce. After that, they fly to San Francisco. Blake, Ben, and Ollie walk through the busy streets of San Francisco to Coit Tower, where they agreed to meet. But because it was already on fire, they changed their plans and went to Nob Hill. Ben hesitated, but his brother Ollie persuaded him to go to Nob Hill, the highest point, to be rescued by Blake. Ray and Emma arrive in San Francisco, but they are unable to land because the airport is destroyed and there are planes all over the place. Ray and Emma are forced to skydive into the stadium after the plane runs out of fuel, leaving the plane to crash into the Pacific Ocean. At the same time, Blake, Ben, and Ollie are walking down an empty street when a powerful earthquake strikes. The magnitude of the quake is 9.6, making it the largest ever recorded. Blake and Ollie rush to one side of the street, but Ben heads to the other. Glass shards from the building have injured Ben's leg. The ground collapses, suspension bridges collapse, and other things happen to the remaining buildings. At the same time, Ray instructs others to flee to the other side of the stadium as it crumbles. Following the earthquake, Blake carefully removes the piece of glass from Ben's leg and they proceed to the highest ground. Ray and Emma take a boat to the city and arrive to find Coit Tower on fire. Ray is aware that Blake has moved on to another location. They notice that the water is rapidly receding, indicating that a tsunami is imminent. It is too late for the trio to flee when they hear on the radio that a tsunami is approaching. As a result, the three rush to Daniel's unfinished building. Ray and Emma drive their boat, along many other boats, into the massive wave. They reach the top just before the wave crests, but a cargo ship being carried by the wave nearly hits them. When the wave hits, Daniel is on the Golden Gate Bridge. He is killed when a container from a tipped-over cargo ship falls on him. The cargo ship splits the Golden Gate Bridge in half, and the wave continues to approach the city. Unfortunately, the majority of the people on the ground are carried away by the water and debris. When the wave arrives, the trio are inside the building. Ray and Emma search for Blake by driving the boat through the wreckage of the town. Blake and Ollie notice their parents in the boat, but they don't notice Blake. Then, Ollie uses the laser pointer he bought at the electronics store to get Blake's parents' attention. Now the parents notice them, but the building begins to sink before they can save them. Blake becomes separated from the two brothers as they ascend to the next floor. Blake is now trapped inside, and the water continues to rise. Ray finds his daughter, but it's now difficult for him to leave the building. He makes every effort to save her, but the building continues to sink. Ray pulls Blake's body from the water when it appears that she has drowned. Emma crashes the boat through a window just as the building is about to collapse, and they flee before the building collapses. Ray continues to try to wake Blake up once he is outside. Just as he was about to give up, he keeps trying until he succeeds. Blake is reunited with her family. The two boys are also saved. The five make it to Marin County and are safe. As they discuss the future, the family and Ben and Ollie watch the sun set over the devastated and drastically altered landscape of the San Francisco Bay Area. They also see an American flag flying over the demolished Golden Gate Bridge.